What's up, guys? Summer Shelf 8 for
Monster 617.
And Monster 617, who is indisposed at the moment. We just finished that bowl of I have the bowl clean out right now. Of Tangiers Bakuk. It's like the other breakfast cereal. And in the end of that video, we were talking about how Tangiers is not a scary shisha to smoke. It's something you should not be scared to try, right? And then we mentioned we were not going to make a video separately of how you should not be afraid of it, but we decided that we're going to. We decided that Tangiers deserves to have a video devoted to it. I know there are hundreds of videos out there that devote themselves to Tangiers and how to pack it and how to smoke it and whatnot, and everyone has their own theory, so we decided, well, why not, we're going to do our own. So tonight, what we got for you guys is Monster 617, everybody. Yay! Anyways, we got some Tangiers.
We believe it's noir.
I want to say it's noir. Cane mint, because it's delicious. And Tangiers small flammable. We are going to pack this. We are going to light the coals. We are going to put it on the hookah. We are going to smoke it start to finish. Oh, there's going to be some, cutting to places because we don't want you to wait for 10 minutes while the coals light. I should actually have this going right now, but I don't. Oh well. Moving on. He's going to mix up the tobacco right now. When you get the tobacco, you will get it in a plastic baggie. Or this big, vacuum sealed bag. You're going to want to put that in a Tupperware container.
Whether it be this size or
this
size. Something shallow, kind of wide, to where the tobacco sits a little lower.
Yeah. Now, when you get your Tangiers, you're going to be very tempted to pack a bowl right away and smoke it. Don't. You want to let it acclimate. We want to let it to breathe, get some air, get rid of that plasticky smell to it. You need it to you need it to acclimate.
I've heard people say that if you need it to acclimate, it's gonna smell like soy sauce or barbecue sauce or burnt shisha.
Some sort of gross smell.
Even if my Tangiers smells good, I like to let it sit out regardless.
Yeah.
Let it, just because you don't want that humidity shock to get to it.
Pretty much. So obviously this box or this Tupperware container of cane mint that I have is a little old. Not old, but it's been acclimated. So what we're doing right now is we're mixing it up because you need to get all that extract that floats, that sinks to the bottom. You need to mix it up into the shisha, get it nice and moist again, nice and juicy and clumpy.
Yeah, you want it pretty even as far as juiciness goes, because you don't want say if you pick it straight up from the top and if it's a little more dry, you're gonna have less flavor. If you pick it up, scoop it from the bottom, it's going to be too intense to where it's kind of gross. But you want it nice and even.
You basically want it, if it smells good, then it's good to smoke. And it looks, see now we have it, we didn't show you what it looked before, but now it's nice and gooey and flaky and clumpy. And, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this properly. But I got my funnel bowl here. It's empty, obviously. Now the way I like to pack it, Monster over here, Billy likes to pack it with the oyster fork.
Since I got it, I kind of started using it, but you could use it either way. I mean, whichever method you feel adequate, I guess.
Personally, I like to use my my hands. Now, I always hold the bowl over the Tupperware container because it ends up spilling. But I take it and I just kind of sprinkle it around the edges, right? Whoa. Almost dropped my entire box of tobacco. That would not have been good.
You probably can't hear Tyler as well because the microphone's over on the side, but
he could move it and turn it towards me.
Disregard the loud sounds that you hear.
Now, what I like to do is I like to take the tobacco and I just sprinkle it around the edges, right? Until I get it nice and up. And then what I do is I take my finger and I pack it down.
Not too dense.
Now, I'm not applying a lot of pressure, just enough to kind of condense it a little bit in the bottom of the bowl. And my goal is, if you notice the center spire, I'm trying to make a lip about 1 millimeter or 2 deep. I need a little bit more in here, in the back. Just so it's far enough below the tip of the spire that it's not going to touch the foil, but it's not going to get sucked in down the spire when we take a hit.
Yeah, too deep, you're going to need a lot of heat to burn that shisha. Too high, it's going to burn too quickly. It's going to become pretty harsh for you. From our experience, I pack Lucid, Berkhook, and Noir all the same way, and I have not had any problems. A lot of people say that you have to pack Noir, Lucid, and Berkhook a little bit differently because of the, I guess, the nicotine. I don't know. They say the nicotine level, but that wouldn't make any sense. One might be a little more temperamental than the other, but I don't see it myself.
Everyone has their own theories. This is just ours. This is just what we think about it. If you notice, it's pretty dense in there. Not like, packed down to the point where it's like, rock hard. But it's nice and flat, nice and dense. And then you see the spire in the middle, the funnel part comes up just enough to the top to where it's just like 1 millimeter or 2 away from the top of the spire. I'm going to go wash my hands. I'm going to get some foil. And then we'll be right back. We're back. I washed my hands and I got a piece of foil here now. Though I use heavy-duty aluminum foil. I don't like regular foil. It's too thin. Doesn't hold heat very well. Now, a little trick that we like to do when we pack a bowl in our Tangiers funnel bowl is we take a paper towel and we just wipe off the lip. This way the shisha on the edge of it doesn't burn. But this is just for us. We just like to keep things neat.
Yeah, it's because you notice you get a lot of that black shit on there after you're done.
This is the black bowl, so you don't notice it.
Yeah. But you notice it with the, like, say my blue one, or like my orange pico bowl, or his yellow pico bowl.
Yeah.
There's a lot of black shit on there. So.
Yeah. Now, what I like to do, I'll take my bowl, I put the foil shiny side down, and I put
Doesn't
it on.
matter, but whatever.
I put it on there enough to where I can get an idea as to where, I don't know if you can see this at all, but I have a little indent in the middle of the foil right here. So I know where the spire is. And I take it and I just fold it over. Nice and tight. Make a nice little drum. You're trying to
get
make
a nice
drum.
seal on it. What I like to do, I don't know if Tyler does this, but I kind of push on the edge of the lip there.
Yep.
Get a little seal.
I just run my thumb across it with a nice little bit of pressure. Now, some people, when they poke their holes, they have a lot of different theories as to how they poke their holes, how they attribute... Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. How they put holes into their foil. People use the oyster fork, people use a toothpick, whatever. Since I got this little thing from 5starhookah.com, my little foil poker, that's all I use now.
Yeah, what I have is... If you guys like corn on the cob, those little pokers on the side, I took one of those and broke off because there's 2 prongs on it. Broke off one of them and just used that. I mean, it works. They're a little bit bigger holes than these ones, but it's not a big deal.
So I gotta
clean up a little bit here.
Why don't you? All right, moving on. So now I got the nice little my little foil drum. I got 3 cocoa jamras. Now. Well, actually, I'll get to the coal section in a second. Okay, so what I do with this, Eric at the Tangiers Lounge uses an oyster fork when he pokes his holes, and he pokes it in this, like, long, oval, like, straight along line pattern. He also has a bowl that's about twice the size of this. Like I said, we all have our own techniques. He's the creator. I know you're supposed to, the creator says, God saith, and you shall do. No. What I do when I poke my holes is I just go all the way down as far as I can.
What I do, I just do normally 3 rings, and then just fill in spots that you think need holes. It's really it's just preference, guys.
And me, I'm a little different than him. Now, why I go all the way down when I poke the holes is because I'm trying to sort of, in a way, loosen up the tobacco that I dent down so tightly in there.
So you still get some of the airflow.
And I don't know if you can see it, but I'm actually bringing up some of the juices onto the top of the foil here. If I can get it to stop shining. Like, it's kind of like my... Okay, you can't see anything. It's actually, the juices are starting to come up as I'm poking down. So I'm actually bringing the shisha up. My hole pattern is not neat whatsoever. Now, I'll get these accidental big holes in there. Not detrimental. It is not bad. You don't need to rip off the piece of foil and go throw it away because, oh my god, you broke the hole pattern. As you can see here, not pretty. It's not like in this perfect pattern. It's not in this wonderful little shape. It's not, you know...
Who cares? It's just holes in foil.
All you want is good airflow. That's all you're doing. You're just making this nice amount of airflow. You don't have enough holes, you're not going to get good airflow. The reason you get all the heat going down into the bowl is because you have airflow bringing the heat in.
Yeah, a lot of people, they poke a center hole. I don't.
Neither do I. I leave the center just like that. I'll leave it with my little ring. That's why I put the ring there, so I know not to poke a hole in the center.
I'm sure it doesn't make a difference, but honestly, when I think of it as when you take that draw, you're just bringing in more air with it anyway, so that's not going to do anything. That's just bringing in more air. It's I wouldn't say make the smoke less dense or anything, but I don't know.
So yeah, now we have our holes poked in here very nicely. We have our bowl packed. We are going to
go flip the coals.
Now I got my little grommet on my hookah. My hookah, obviously, the 2 Pro KM with the ice chiller. Still no ice in the chiller. We're just too lazy to put ice in the chiller right now.
And it's cane mint, so there's no point.
Yeah, mint doesn't need to be cold because it's already going to be cold. I got my knwo hose chilling back there on the couch. And I got my wind cover for just in case purposes because I got the fan going like I always do. Now, on to a little discussion about the coals. Can I get the box? We have gone through many different types of coals in our experience with smoking shisha. We started off with quick lights like most people. Now, I know a lot of people still smoke Tangiers with quick lights. I'm sorry if you do. Quick lights give you that nasty headache afterwards. They don't burn. They burn either way too hot or not hard enough. They don't burn for nearly as long. They give off a horrid smell, and they deteriorate the flavor of the shisha.
You get that nasty...
graphite sulfur. It's gross.
It's gross. Just if you use quick light coals, please go out, buy some coconaras, coco jamras, hell, exoticas, or even those damn barrel natural coals, the pharaohs or something.
Yeah, something like that. Natural is the way to go. I know a lot of people say that, but it is the best way to go. I started off with exotica. Not started off, but I switched to exotica a while ago, and I used that for a good solid year and a half. I liked them because they were flat and they were brick light and they lasted for a very long time. They get a lot of nice heat off of them. Only problem
downside, they're so huge.
Yeah. They also weigh a lot and they also sometimes get too hot.
And lots of ash.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of ash, which just gets down into the bowl and it just kind of makes it taste gross as well, but
yeah. Now,
whatever.
We switched over to coco jamras. What I like about these is they're made out of coconut husk. So they're eco-friendly. They're not using, coal resources or whatever. They're nice and small little squares.
It's just compressed coconut shells. That's it.
Nice little black square.
They're not even. They're all different sizes. Whatever.
Typically, the first ones are bigger than the ones in the bottom of the box, but
some of them cube, some of them a little more flat, but
and they're really cheap. I mean, it's like $8 for a box of 108 pieces. I mean,
and they're gonna start making 120 pieces.
Really?
5starhookah.com. Same price.
I did not know that.
$10 a box actually. I think on, but you can get their 3-pack whatever, but
they're really good. They give off just the right amount of heat. They're small, so if you want more heat, you can add another small piece to it. Like with my Pico bowl, I only use 2. On my small, I'm going to use 3. If I had a bigger bowl, I'd use 4. You can use the amount you need. You don't like with exoticas. You have 2 big bricks or 1 brick. Or you can break it in half, which is messy.
Yeah, really messy. It's not fun.
No, they don't break evenly.
And you get black shit all over your hands.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying.
But I like these because they're not heavy, so they don't weigh down the foil. They don't do anything wrong really. They're pretty much the perfect type of coal. Any type of coconut coal, coconaras, coco jamras, coco something, except for
Cocoa Ultimates. I don't know. I picked up some Cocoa Ultimates for my brother because I'm letting him use my Maya until I buy him his hookah. It's kind of weird they asked brown instead of the grayish white powdery. And they make it taste funny. Not sure why that is, but I won't use those. I'm gonna stick to my Cocoa Jamros because they work.
Oh, by the way, quick little fun fact. It's really cool to actually hang your tongs off of the...
You can't see it, but it's off the hose port. You still can't see it. There you go.
We've been hanging in there lately.
Especially with the wind cover, you don't have all that room, but...
It's actually really, really cool. It makes for a... It just looks cool. I don't know. It's fun. Sorry.
Whatever.
Moving on.
He's going to get the coal carrier because we have had some drinks, so he doesn't want to risk burning his carpet rug. Again, we already had to replace part of it once. However, that was not our fault.
See, this thing costs about, I don't know.
Not even $10?
This cost me $6. I got this at a smoke shop in Torrance. Yeah, it actually saves me a lot of headache.
You're gonna get this little bit of a sizzle when you first put them on.
That's not bad.
Yeah, if your foil is not touching the tobacco, it's not gonna hurt it or anything. It's just, I think it's just from him. He scored. See, I think it's just from the foil itself. Ooh, fuck, that was hot. I shouldn't have touched that.
Now onto another little fact. When I put the coals onto my Tangiers bowl. By the way, if you're gonna smoke Tangiers, use a Tangiers funnel bowl. I know there's a lot of cheaper funnel bowls out there, and there's a lot of imitations. Make sure you get a Tangiers funnel bowl. You don't want a crappy hollowed out Chinese piece of shit.
Yeah, I tried that. It doesn't work. It falls off and it shatters all over the place. And you have to pick up all these damn little pieces of fucking... It feels like glass. I guess it's ceramic. I don't even think they're ceramic. But anyways, you have to pick up all these little damn pieces and it's not fun.
Yeah. Tangiers funnel bowl, it is solid. You can throw this thing across the room and it'll break. But
don't do that.
There's Egyptian clay, Egyptian style funnel bowls made out of clay instead of ceramic. Like, for example.
Oh yeah, we each have one. Mine broke a while back, but hey, I used some super glue. Worked perfectly fine again. Whatever.
I have it. You can tell it's made out of clay instead of ceramic. The problem with these, they conduct heat well. They chip very easily, and they're
really heavy. Really heavy.
It's also wider. It's strange. I mean, the flow is just fine on it. I mean, obviously the flow. If you can see the gauge, hold on. The gauge on that hose, or the bowl, it's pretty big.
And they're not that deep. They're pretty shallow. They're just really wide.
Yeah, we tried Tangiers out of this for a long time. It wasn't as good. Then I decided to suck it up, and I bought a Tangiers small funnel, and it works beautifully. Now, yeah. So get a Tangiers funnel bowl. It conducts heat the best way. Now, on to what I was trying to say before. Since it's supposed to conduct heat, the whole thought behind a Tangiers funnel bowl is that it boils the shisha. It heats the shisha up to a point where it actually boils and sizzles and actually brings all the juices that are soaking on the bottom right here up to the coals, burns that, and then that's what you get. That's what creates the smoke that you end up smoking.
And we were at the lounge. We were smoking for probably a good 2 hours.
At least. Then we got hungry.
At least 2 hours. And you could see the actual process of it because there was actually juices coming out of the bowl, dripping down past the foil onto the base of the bowl itself.
Yeah.
So it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah. The only thing different that they do at the lounge that we're doing now is that they pack the bowl so high.
Yeah.
Like.
And Eric used silver tabs, the Fumari odorless which
Yeah, they
I'm
weren't
not that big of a
bad,
fan
but-
of, but again, preference.
Yeah. He had cocoa jammers there. I guess you could request those if you wanted. And then he also he'll smoke for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours at one time with one bowl. And what he does is he bridges the coals where he puts the two old coals together, puts a new coal on top of that, new coal on top of that.
Lets the old coals heat up that new coal, and then just once those are done, bring those down, bridge them, put 2 more coals. It just
seems like a long, tiresome
and then he had like a
process.
layer of ash like this thick on the top of his damn bowl. It's ridiculous, but whatever.
It was
He's a
pretty-
creator. He knows what the hell he's doing.
We probably don't know as much as he does. Anyways, this has been on here for long enough. Now, a lot of problems that people have, I know I had it with mine, was that, not with the Pico so much. Well, yeah, I guess it was with the Pico. The funnel comes up too high, the spire, and when you have the coals
Go ahead.
on it, it ends up creating the vacuum that you create when you inhale pulls the foil down on top of the spire, creating resistance. Makes it kind of undesirable to smoke. But what we ended up doing is we took a Dremel that he has at his girlfriend's house, her dad had, and we just filed down it about 2 or 3 millimeters, like not very much at all.
So as you can see here, even with the Pico bowl, it's just a little below the edge here. If you notice, the reason why that's black is because it was glazed over, but we did take the Dremel to it, and the juices from all the tobacco, or juice out, if you want to call it juices, actually soaked into the white ceramic there. So it's not a big deal, but it makes it a nice flat surface, and it's down low enough to where it's not going to suck the foil down into it. And we did that with this one. We did that with my small Tangiers funnel and the my Pico bowl. So
my small Tangiers funnel still has the tendency to do it if you put the coals too much to the center. Either way, it's the bowl to use with Tangiers. Hopefully this hits well. I'm hoping. I'm fairly certain.
you're getting the first hit off of this, guys.
I haven't done anything different, so let's see.
So as you can see, first hit is still phenomenal. Of course, I'm sure he's getting a shitload of cane mint flavor.
Cold. It actually tingles my nose.
Which is actually not a bad thing. It feels really nice.
As you can see, the only time we cut out was just for me to wash my hands and get a piece of foil. So I didn't want to have you guys wait for that. Yeah, it's not a scary tobacco, as you can see. We've done this in 16 minutes now. I mean, that's about as long as it takes to pack a regular bowl to wait for the coals and everything to get lit. Given there's a little more work with this. But as long as you pack it right, as long as you do your best, we'll probably end up taking this on and off a few times because depending on how the heat management goes, it'll get a funky flavor. You take the wind cover off. I like to put it on because it gives it a little extra heat, helps it
Start up a little bit.
and helps maintain the flavor for a little while. Also, my fan has a tendency to make my bowl shit out. Yeah, I'm not having any of those spiral troubles. So like I said, I rest the coals on the very edge of the bowl to where it's actually touching the bowl, so the bowl heats up itself. And be careful when you're done smoking. If you want to take the bowl off right away, it's going to be very hot. Ceramic conducts heat very well.
Yeah, we've learned that from experience,
Multiple times.
to say the least.
So yeah, I hope you guys in your ventures with Tangiers have as much luck as we do. I mean, don't be intimidated.
Don't just stick to only Nakla, only AF, only
Starbuzz.
Don't stick to Starbuzz, please. Venture out. You will not be disappointed. Unless you smoke AF energy drink, which is very disgusting. But bless you.
Sorry guys, tickles my nose like I said.
But as you can see, it's perfectly fine. If you don't have a wind cover, you can use. I've seen people use the Monster BFC cans. I've seen people use the tall can Rockstars. Hell, if you drink beer, you drink tall cans, use a tall can beer can, whatever.
It works as long as it fits in your bowl. You don't want the wind cover. My old wind cover used to rest on the lip of the bowl and then push the coals towards the center. Not so good because then it pushes on the foil.
And it gets hot a lot quicker.
Yeah, I like this wind cover because it's tall enough to stand. I mean, it's made for a large Egyptian hookah.
I think it's 11 inches, which is pretty much perfect. Or 10 and a half, 11 inches, which is perfect for how tall these bowls are.
I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's these little windows that go around the edge right here. I'll take this off so I can show you. See those little windows? My bowl comes to the very top of the window, right about, ow, that's hot. There-ish. My bowl, the lip of my bowl comes to right about here, so obviously the wind cover does not touch it at all. So get a wind cover that'll fit your hookah, or you can do what Monster does with his that I
Yeah, if you've
gave
seen
him.
my videos, what we did, I have just pieces of wood sitting across the top here, and then I just have that wind cover which sits a little bit higher, which still in the same thing with those. There's little stars on there, but it comes right to the lip of the bowl. It works perfectly fine on the tray with my Egyptian, just because that's so much shorter, and I think it's because if you can see here, that gap between the tray and the bowl,
the up stem comes up a lot higher from where the tray sits, so the bowl sits higher. If you're smoking out of Maya, it's not that big of a problem because they have their little itty bitty ports that are like that tall.
It's actually not a problem at all. I was doing it the other day, but
yeah, okay, see. This is so buy a wind cover that fits your hookah, or make a mod for your wind cover like he did. It works just fine. It helps retain the heat. Get a good hose too. You want a hose with a lot of draw when you're smoking Tangiers. You don't want a restricted hose because that just kind of cuts down the smoke quality. That's just if you like the smoke.
Yeah, I tried it with the fancy hose, with the cane mint. Honestly, it was a little too much. I'm not sure why that is. Might be because it's a shorter hose. I couldn't tell you. Why, but it wasn't that enjoyable with the fancy hose. So I switched over to the knwo hose, which is quite a bit longer. Has the greater distance to travel
and a larger gauge. Another thing I want to also add at the Tangiers Lounge, Eric uses a diffuser on his hookah. I have a diffuser on mine as well. I think it helps. I like the way it makes the hookah sound. It's quieter. I can watch TV. It doesn't bother me. It also helps with
the rattling.
Yeah.
Keeps it pretty steady. If you use, I don't know where you get the round. I mean, like the round lump coals or whatever. Might make it, if you don't have the diffuser on a KM, it's gonna make them roll around a little bit. Might fall on your tray or something. But
a little thing on the diffusers, people say it makes the smoke smoother. No, it doesn't help with the smoke being smoother or anything. It just quiets the hookah. It's nice.
Yeah.
It also creates a lot of bubbles down there, which can be problematic if you have
too much water
or old water, and it just ends up bubbling up into the
hose port.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope this video was pretty informative to you. To those of you who are having trouble with Tangiers or who have not smoked Tangiers yet and are looking to try it out.
Yeah. Remember, don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. Just give it a shot. Give it your best. Work with it. Don't give up on it.
This is a motivational video.
Oh God, we're stupid. Anyways, so yeah, give it a shot. I hope this helps you guys. I know there's a lot of videos out there. I know that just watch them. Hopefully our style or our method helps you guys. Maybe another method will help you. I don't know. Give it a shot. Remember,
whatever works for you.
So also I've noticed smoking Tangiers out of a Egyptian hookah helps versus the Chinese hookah. Mainly because Chinese hookahs are shit, but also because I think that the gauge on a Egyptian hookah is a lot wider, so you get that better airflow. I don't know. And you also get more distance between the bowl and where you're smoking out of. I don't know if that helps theory.
Possibly. Who knows?
Yeah, so rate, subscribe, watch, share, comment, whatever you guys want to do. It's been Summer Shelfay.
And Monster617
with
for hookahpro.com.
With an instructional video today.
For Tangiers. So, tagline, don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Until next time.
Smoke well.